10 Shocking Animal Mating Rituals. Brace yourself. Keep watching. In the vast and intricate tapestry of the natural world, survival is the ultimate imperative. And inextricably linked to survival is the drive to reproduce, to pass one's genes onto the next generation. This fundamental impulse has given rise to an astonishing, and at times, bewildering array of courtship and mating strategies. From the most elaborate dances to the most vibrant displays of color, life seeks to perpetuate itself. But beneath the surface of what might appear romantic or charming lies a reality that is often brutal, bizarre, and profoundly unsettling. The quest for continuity is not always a gentle affair. Some animals go to insane lengths for love, and these 10 take it to a whole new level of bizarre, shocking, and downright disturbing. We will journey from the abyssal depths of the ocean to the familiar shadows of our own homes, uncovering rituals that defy our human understanding of intimacy. These are not tales of gentle courtship. They are stories of sacrifice, violence, and anatomical marvels born from the relentless pressures of evolution. Prepare to have your perceptions of animal romance shattered. The following content explores the more extreme and often violent aspects of wildlife reproduction, which some may find distressing. Viewer discretion advised. We begin our journey in the crushing blackness of the midnight zone, thousands of feet below the ocean's surface. Here, in a world devoid of sunlight, life exists under extreme pressure and scarcity. Finding a mate in this vast, empty darkness is a near impossible task. For the deep-sea anglerfish, evolution has forged a solution that is as permanent as it is macabre. The female, a monstrous predator with her iconic bioluminescent lure, drifts through the abyss, a giant in comparison to the minuscule male. His sole purpose in life is to find her. Upon locating a female, sometimes hundreds of times his size, the tiny male's quest reaches its desperate climax. He latches on with his sharp teeth, biting into her flesh. But this is no fleeting embrace. His body begins to change in a grotesque twist of biology. His mouth fuses with her skin, their circulatory systems merge, and his own organs, including his eyes and digestive tract, begin to wither away. He is no longer an independent creature. He has become a parasitic extension of the female, a living, attached organ. In this abyssal marriage, the male is reduced to little more than a pair of testes. He draws all his nutrients directly from her bloodstream, and in return, he provides the one thing she cannot find in the dark, a permanent, on-demand supply of sperm. In a grotesque twist, the tiny male bites the female and fuses to her body for life, becoming a permanent sperm provider. This is not a partnership of equals, but a complete and total sacrifice of the self, ensuring the continuation of their kind in the most inhospitable place on Earth. From the deep ocean, we rise to the sun-drenched world, gardens, meadows, home to an elegant and patient predator, the praying mantis. Its courtship is a tense and dangerous affair, a delicate dance where one wrong move can be fatal. He is not just a potential mate, he is also a potential meal. During mating, the female may decapitate and eat the male, a brutal sacrifice linked to reproductive success. We now turn our attention to an animal that lives in terrifying proximity to our own lives, an unwelcome guest in our most intimate spaces, the bedbug. This tiny parasite, which feeds on the blood of sleeping humans, has a reproductive life that is as violent as its feeding habits. The male bedbug, however, has evolved a strategy that bypasses all convention. It is a method known as traumatic insemination. When he is ready to mate, he climbs onto her back and unceremoniously stabs her through the wall of her abdomen. He injects sperm directly into her body cavity. The sperm is released into her hemolymph, the insect equivalent of blood, and must travel through her body to the ovaries. Repeated wounding leaves the female scarred and more susceptible to infection. Females evolve the spermolage, an internal sponge guiding sperm and reducing damage. A grim evolutionary arms race, played out in the dark crevices of our beds. In the vibrant coral reefs and shallow tidal pools, a silent but deadly serious duel is taking place. The combatants are hermaphroditic flatworms. Since producing eggs and carrying young is far more biologically expensive than producing sperm, both individuals would prefer to take on the male role. Each flatworm is armed with two sharp, dagger-like penises. What follows is a bizarre and hypnotic dance known as penis fencing. The two worms rear up, facing each other, and begin to lunge and parry, attempting to stab their opponent anywhere on their body. The goal is not to kill, but to inseminate by force. The first to pierce injects a packet of sperm, which is then absorbed through the wound. Flatworms duel with sharp penises in penis fencing. The loser is forcibly fertilized by wounds. The victor swims away. The loser bears the cost of developing and laying eggs. Their grace and seemingly gentle nature can mask a reproductive biology that is surprisingly aggressive. The courtship of cats can be a loud, drawn-out affair, with females calling out to attract males. Males, toms, are drawn in. When a male finally mounts the queen, the act of mating itself is brief and concludes with a sudden, dramatic reaction. She often lets out a piercing shriek, turns, and aggressively swats the male away. This violent reaction is not one of passion, but of pain. His penis is covered in 100 or more small, sharp, backward-facing spines made of keratin, the same material as our fingernails. During withdrawal, these spines rake the walls of the female's vagina, causing significant pain and tissue trauma. They are induced ovulators. The trauma actually induces ovulation in the female. The shock and hormonal surge signals her body to release eggs, ensuring that fertilization is highly likely to occur. It is a stark reminder that even in the animals we think we know so well, the drive to reproduce operates on principles far removed from our own. We return once more to the ocean's depths, to the world of one of its most intelligent and enigmatic inhabitants, the octopus. These solitary masters of camouflage have a reproductive strategy that is as clever as it is sacrificial. One of his 8 arms, called the hectocotylus, is modified for reproduction, essentially a sperm delivery device. When he finds a receptive female, he reaches out with this arm, delicately inserts it into her mantle cavity, depositing packets of sperm, spermatophores. For some species, the strategy becomes even more extreme. Male octopuses sometimes detach that specialized arm to deliver sperm. Males often die soon after. Many enter senescence and perish. The female can store the sperm for months, then fertilize her thousands of eggs when conditions are right, all thanks to the male's final disembodied gift. In the damp, shaded floors of the forest, we find one of nature's most peculiar lovers, the banana slug. These large, often brightly colored mollusks are simultaneous hermaphrodites, each possessing a full set of both male and female reproductive organs. When two slugs meet to mate, they engage in a lengthy and elaborate ritual, circling each other, nipping, sliming one another for hours. Their courtship culminates in them entwining their bodies, each attempting to insert its large, complex penis into the other's genital pore. The banana slug's penis can swell to an extraordinary size, sometimes as long as its entire body. After the exchange of sperm is complete, they must disengage, but the penis can become inextricably stuck, the two slugs locked in a potentially fatal embrace. When this happens, the slugs resort to a desperate and shocking solution: apopulation. Using their file-like teeth, their radula, they gnaw off the trapped penis. The castrated slug is effectively sterilized as a male, able to reproduce only as a female for the rest of its life. It is a brutal solution, a permanent sacrifice in the slippery pursuit of procreation. On the sun-scorched plains of Africa, the social structure of the spotted hyena clan is unlike almost any other in the mammal world. It is a society dominated by females. This dominance is not just behavioral, it is etched into their very anatomy. What appears to be a penis on the female is, in fact, a pseudopenis, an enlarged clitoris through which she urinates, copulates, and, most remarkably, gives birth. This structure makes mating an incredibly difficult and awkward process. The male must carefully maneuver himself underneath the dominant female, Giving birth through this narrow canal is treacherous and excruciatingly painful. First-time mothers have a high mortality rate, and up to 60% of their cubs may suffocate during the arduous journey. The Suriname toad is a bizarre, flattened amphibian. Its reproductive cycle is a spectacle of intimate body horror. It begins with an aquatic dance. The male clasps the female from behind, amplexus. They perform somersaults underwater. As she releases her eggs, he fertilizes them and presses them onto her back. After mating, her back swells, eggs sink into her skin. Over days, her skin grows up and around each egg, enclosing them in honeycombed pockets. She becomes a living incubator, a grotesque nursery. When fully formed, tiny, perfect toads, they hatch from her body, push and squirm through the skin, then swim away to begin their own lives. In the leaf litter of the forest floor, the red velvet mite replaces violence and coercion with intricate artistry and chance, weaving a complex love garden. At its heart, he deposits a spermatophore, often atop a delicate stalk. If a female walks over it, she picks up the sperm and becomes fertilized. However, if a rival male discovers the garden first, he will destroy it and build his own in its place. From the lightless abyss to our own backyards, we have witnessed the staggering and often shocking lengths to which life will go to create more life. Nature's love is not romantic. Which one made you cringe the hardest? Comment below. Keep it respectful. These 10 examples are but a glimpse into the endless creativity of the natural world. Subscribe for more shocking animal behaviors, bizarre wildlife facts, and nature's strangest secrets. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of life at its most extreme.